Continuing from our last video, getting started with Gmail groups, let's take a look at some of the different ways we can set up groups in Gmail and how we can set up those groups for users within our Rivets domain, as well as users who are not a part of our Gmail server. Let's get started. Let's say we already have our groups labeled in our contacts, but we don't want to take the time to type in every student's email. If you haven't guessed by now, it's pretty time consuming, especially if you need to set up groups for every class. 30 students per class, 5 to 6 classes, typing them one at a time. You do the math. Another way you can add these students to a group is by sending an email first and then moving those users into their specified group. To do this, first I have to go back to my mail, select Contacts in the top left, and choose Mail. Then choose Compose. Now let's say I haven't added any users to my group AP Bio Semester 1, but I know which students are taking that class, and I'd like to send them an email introducing them to the course and maybe a brief overview of what they will be learning. I plan on sending emails to this class on a weekly basis this semester, so I definitely want to use a group to save on time. In my new message, I'm going to type all of my students' email addresses in the To section of my email. Now, you're probably asking yourself, how is this different than doing this on the contacts page? If I have to enter each student individually, I might as well set up the group first and search each student from a directory back in contacts. Well, you're partially correct. It is time consuming at first, and there really is no other way around it. But Google does a nice thing with these contacts once I send the email. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and finish up this email. Welcome to my class. And say hello, put a smiley face, and I'll click send. You can see in the sent messages, there's the message I just sent. Now navigate back to your contacts page. I'll click Mail, go to Contacts. I'll refresh my page's content. And you'll see under Contacts, in Other Contacts, I have a numeric total of the students I just sent an email who are not a part of any group yet. Here's that nice thing I referenced earlier with Google. Click the selection button at the top of the page and select All. You'll notice that Google selects all the contacts on this page, and I bet now you can see what we're about to do. At the top of the page, select the Groups button. I'll click AP Bio Semester 1 and click Apply. Google lets me know that those contacts have all been moved to my specified group, and now I can type that group name in my emails in the future. So doing it this way is very effective, primarily when you're working with parent or guardian emails, whose email address is not a part of the Revits network and cannot be searched in our directory. I can even create a new group for parents from this screen. I'm just going to go back to my mail really quick and send an email to my Outlook account to demonstrate. I'll choose Compose, New Message, type my information, hello, and this would be the message that I would send to my parents' email group. I'll click Send. I'll navigate back to my contacts. I'll choose Other Contacts. You may have to refresh the page again. And I'll select the email address. I'll click the Groups button again. But this time, I'm going to select Create New down at the bottom. I'll name the group Parents for AP Bio Semester 1. Click OK. And that contact has now been moved to my parents' email group for that class. I can even go into that contact and give it a name. I'll click Parents for AP Bio, click the email address, and say Mr. Ribcheck. So now I know which email belongs to who. And that's just another way of creating and using groups in Gmail.